Hello people, it's your boy S-Man back again with another preview. Manchester United lost that last game against Brighton. Thankfully I didn't make a reaction video to that because I was absolutely fuming. What an absolute shambles, honest to God. It's not been a great start to the season. It's not been a great pre-season. Just in general, the whole last couple of months as a Man United fan has been an absolute disaster. Make no mistake about it. However, hoping the players can bounce back against Spurs. I got a feeling that we might, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video. You know, a lot of it is to do with Jose Mourinho, Paul Pogba, that kind of thing. But I want to talk about things I personally don't like about Jose Mourinho and his tactics currently, and also talk about how we can change the system, you know, his tactics, that kind of thing, to get the best out of our players. Because there's no point in me just sitting here and bashing Jose completely. I want to be constructive as well in the way I speak about Jose Mourinho, because at the end of the day, I think it's very early in the season to be talking about getting a new manager, because what is the actual point? There's no point getting a new manager in now. It's way too early. Obviously, if this continues for the next couple of months, then it's a different story. But for the time being, we've got to stick with Jose and trust that he has the capabilities to turn this around. Fingers flipping crossed. Come on, Jose. But yeah, in general, don't get me wrong, I'm fuming like everybody else. But I know everyone wants Jose out. Well, not everyone. A lot of people want Jose out. But yeah, so I thought I'd talk about things that I personally want to see change. So I've written some things down, otherwise I might forget. Couple of things first and foremost. Jose, in my personal opinion, has killed the players' confidence. Okay, there's so many examples I can go through this, but I'm going to leave the most important ones for me personally. Okay. It's all about building team morale, okay? So I feel like when you look at the pictures on Instagram and other social medias, you can tell that the players are very close to each other. This is one of the reasons why I feel his comments regarding Martial have been a massive detriment to other players within the squad. And I think Pogba, being like his older brother, has personally found it really offensive as well. You know, just since the comments regarding Martial and just his overall behaviour towards Martial in the preseason, for me personally, lacks massive class. And if you don't show what I'm referring to the incident when Martial left the preseason tour to go back with his wife to help give birth to their kid. If you don't know what happened, well, to be honest with you, it's quite classless on the behalf of the club, and Jose Mourinho defined Martial for not turning up to training. And just to give a bit of backstory, I'm pretty sure everyone knows anyways. Long story short, Martial's wife was struggling with the birth of their kid, so obviously he had to stay a bit longer just to make sure everything went smoothly. Therefore, he didn't come to training. I don't understand how a club can flipping find their player for those reasons. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. Of course, that is going to affect Martial. That's going to affect the other players around him. Because if you see your manager doing that, so for example, in a work situation, if you see your manager punishing one of your staff members or somebody you're very close to as well over those reasons, you're going to think, what an absolute joke. Do I really want to work for this person? Not really. I think that could be, I think that might be one of the reasons why the players are acting the way they're acting. For me personally, there is definitely something going on behind the closed doors we don't know about. I feel like this could have sparked that, because I feel like the players are very close, like I said, and it just shows a lack of class on behalf of Jose Mourinho. I know Pogba is very close to Martial, and I'm not knowing personally, but of course you can just tell that they're very close. Obviously, Pogba looks after him. He's always sticking up for his counterparts. Some of the stuff that he said about Luke Shaw as well, sticking up for Luke Shaw. It's just frustrating to see that. But again, this is just one example. There's another couple of examples. You know, of course, we don't need to go into the Pogba in too much depth. Don't really know what's going on there. Mino Raiola seems to have come out and attacked Paul Scholes regarding his comments about Pogba. To be honest, I actually agreed with Paul Scholes' comments, because Pogba coming after the game and saying the players didn't have the right attitude going into the game, for me, is absolutely disgraceful. How can the players not have the right attitude going into a game when we've lost to these like 3 months ago? Only 3 months ago. I'm pretty sure majority of the fans can remember when we lost to them last, because we got absolutely annihilated by our flipping mates and obviously the other people that support other teams, just constantly. Even like my work colleagues that don't even support a Premier team were absolutely annihilating me when we lost to Brighton. It's embarrassing, honest to God. We get absolutely ridiculed, and the players are turning around saying, oh, we didn't have the right attitude to the game. But it's all good for you guys that if you didn't have the right attitude, but for us, we get absolutely flipping embarrassed, mate. I don't know if that's the manager's fault. Yes, the manager does have to motivate the players, but as a professional, and I agree with Paul Scholes completely here, as a professional, you should have some professional pride and motivate yourself as well at times. It's not all about the manager as well. You can motivate, you can be the best motivator, and if the players aren't willing to listen, then they're not going to be motivated. They're not going to show the right sort of decide towards the game. Again, that puts question marks. Are the players wanting to play for Jose? Do they respect him enough to listen to him or listen to his orders, etc.? That kind of thing. Anyways, other players in in general that he's upset. What I feel like he probably has upset. Luke Shaw is the obvious one. We don't need to go into that detail. But his comments about we need a centre back, otherwise it's gonna be a terrible season. Again, I don't know if he meant it in that sense, but that wording is absolutely terrible. Imagine you're a centre-back playing for Man United and you hear that your manager is absolutely dying for a centre-back. Look, don't get me wrong, of course we need a centre-back. I completely agree with that statement. However, if you're a centre-back playing for Man United and you're hearing that your manager is dying to get another centre-back in because he doesn't think any of you lot are capable, it doesn't really breed you with much confidence. And then after, when he doesn't get a centre-back in, he continues to say, oh, we're going to struggle, we didn't get a centre-back. Again, it doesn't fill you with much confidence. What he should have said was, you know what, I'm really good at being a centre back. However, I feel we've got the players here to do enough, and obviously we've got enough cover basically in that position. Even if you didn't believe it, just say it, mate. It's not hard. Obviously, that's going to not demotivate our players, but it's a massive dampener on their confidence. Let's make no mistake about it. It's just common sense, isn't it, really? Anyways, moving on. The system does not suit our players. Again, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this. I will go into that in a bit more detail when I show you what system I would change it to. But yeah, just to add on to that, we don't play to our players' strengths. Also, Lukaku is a perfect example. In the World Cup, he looked like a different animal. Obviously, Pogba looked like a different animal as well. But yeah, for me personally, Lukaku has to be running onto the balls. He needs people to be feeding in through balls so he can run onto it and shoot, rather than having him to make too many decisions having the ball at his feet, because clearly his ball control and his ball handling skills aren't his strongest suit. His finishing, however, and the World Cup was very good, although this season he hasn't been fantastic thus far. But yeah, we just need Lukaku to be running at our opposition defenders, because he's an absolute animal and he's a bit of a flat track bully really in those incidences. He does tend to bully his defenders if he's running directly at them. You've seen him when he was collecting the ball last season on the right wing, cutting onto his left foot and running at players. He's actually quite a threat, but at the moment we've got him playing back to goal and we've got him pinging balls long to him. He is having to chest it, and half the time when he brings the ball down, there's no one to play it to. So are we really playing to his strengths? No, we're not. Also, it's a no-brainer. He's fantastic in the air. We need to get better deliveries in from the wide. Again, that's not something we do enough. I don't understand why we keep lumping it long and hoping he can bring the ball down. But when he does actually bring the ball down, there's no one next to him. That is another problem. We're not playing to our players' strength. We need players in and around Pogba. We need players in and around Sanchez, Lukaku, so they can actually link up with players. At the moment, it just seems like we pass the ball to one of our players and hope they'll work a bit of magic, but it's not really a team. It's like individuals doing their own thing and hoping it kind of pans out. It just don't really make sense. There's not really any patterns of play. You can't really look at that and think, what kind of style of football are we playing? I don't understand what we're actually trying to do. Most of the times we just hit the ball long and hope for the best, and it's not Man United basically. Anyways, moving on from that, this is one thing that really pisses me off, I'm not going to lie. Why the hell do we not press the ball? The Manchester United I want to see is pressing the ball. We've got the players to do it. We've got the energy in the front line. Press the ball. Put the other opposition on the back foot. Why are we giving other teams so much time on the ball? We were playing against Brighton and the centre-backs had no pressure on the ball. Like, I don't understand why we're not squeezing them into their own half and we're sustaining attacks. It's like we get one attack every 5 minutes. We're meant to be Man United. We're meant to sustain attacks, put actual pressure on them and knock on the door to actually score, not just hope that we get one attack in every 10 minutes and score from one of them. It's not consistent attacks, which really frustrates me. So, bearing that all in mind, I will talk about Spurs shortly, of course, but I just want to talk about Man United first. This is a system that I would play. I've got us in yellow and I've got Spurs in red. As you can see, we're lining up very similar to what Spurs normally do. I think they're going to play a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. For me personally, I think it's a no-brainer. We have to change the system to a 3-5-2. Basically, I think that will get the best out of our players because we'll have Lukaku and Sanchez up top. Sanchez was fantastic for Arsenal when he was playing in strike, and I think it'll help Lukaku a lot for him to have somebody next to him. I think that's what Hazard does really well for Belgium when he plays with Lukaku. He pretty much plays alongside Lukaku and it really does help Lukaku, so he can bring the ball down and play to someone. He doesn't really have to think about it too much, and for me personally, that's something that we need to think about. Like I said, it will help Lukaku and it will help Sanchez, so I don't understand why it isn't a no-brainer to be benefiting two of our main main players, attacking players in that sense as well. So also gone 3 at the back. Like you saw against Brighton, our defenders weren't fantastic, so I think the extra centre back will definitely help him defensively, especially against Harry Kane in particular and Dele Alli, who makes those late runs into the box. They've also got players like Eriksen, who's more than capable of finding that pass, Lucas Moura, etc. They've got a lot of quality in the final third, and it's also really important, like I said, that we actually press them off the ball, because if you give space to Eriksen, to obviously just do whatever he wants, like we've done with like Maddison from Leicester and any of the Brighton players that Knockout, we're going to get punished. We're going to lose this game. It's very simple. If we don't press Spurs and we give them time on the ball, they've got the quality to hurt us. It's as simple as that. They've got Dele Alli, they've got Lucas Moura, they've got Lamela, they've got Eriksen. They're going to hurt us if we give them time. So anyways, 3 at the back, De Gea and net, no brainer. Centre backs for me, I'm going to stick with Lindelof and Bailly. Like I said, we have to instill confidence. We can't just get rid of them now because I've had one poor game. And in the sweeper role, which is the main role at the back, I'm going to go Smalling because he's fantastic in the air. And I think he'll do a good job against Kane. Yes, I don't rate Smalling. However, we don't really have many other options. I'm not going to go for Phil Jones because he's a calamity. And Rojo is very rash. And I think Smalling will kind of counteract their threat in the air, because obviously they've got a lot of threat, even from corners and set pieces in general. Anyways, right wing back, I am going for Jesse Lingard. For me personally, Jesse Lingard has got the capability to get up and down, and to be fair to him, he's just got the energy that we need, for me personally, and I think he'll be fantastic in that position. I do not want to see Valencia playing there. I don't even know if he's fit, but in general I don't want Valencia playing there. Ashley Young, for me personally, he can do a job there, don't get me wrong, but I'd much rather see Jesse Lingard because he gives us more of a threat going forward. Left wing back, Luke Shaw, again, it would benefit him massively because he would have to do less defensive duties, and to be fair, he has got the capabilities going forward. He has shown in the last couple of games, although his assist for Lukaku was jammy, at least he's in the positions to actually have an impact on an attacking sense. Yes, again, it was lucky, don't get me wrong, but at least he's there. So he definitely has a positive, sort of influence in the final third. It definitely can be. I know he can improve massively, but I honestly, God, you just got to have faith in these players. Anyways, moving into the centre mid position, as you can see, I've got like a 2-1-2. So we've got... I'm going to go for Fred, and I don't know if Matic is fully fit. I've got a feeling he's going to play Fellaini. I wouldn't be opposed to Fellaini playing there, although I don't want him to be Fellaini. I would love it to be Fred, Pereira and Pogba. I know they didn't have a fantastic game, but again, it's a matter of keeping faith. Got a feeling it'll be Matic, but anyways, Fred, Pereira, I don't know who Pereira is. Anyways, Fred, Pereira, Pogba, Sanchez and Lukaku, of course. Again, for me personally, Sanchez playing up front with Lukaku gives Lukaku another option. Pogba will have a free role in that position. You won't have to really worry about defensive duties because he'll have so much cover behind him. So it gives them an opportunity to just stay up front and think about how they can cause damage on the other side. Pogba will benefit from that massively. Lukaku will benefit from that massively, and Sanchez will benefit from that massively. 3 of our main players. For me personally, you got to build that team around them players. And yes, I know Martial's not in there, but you got the likes of Martial and Rashford off the bench, Herrera, Anko. It's a good system for me personally. What do you guys think? Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section regarding what I've said. Just to quickly touch upon Spurs, like I said, of course, Harry Kane, Dele Alli, massive threats going forward. For me personally, I've got a feeling that we actually might get a result against Spurs. The only reason being because our attitude was so poor against Brighton. I can only imagine that the players will put in a lot more effort to rectify that. And also, there's no way they're not going to be up for this game. It's Manchester United against Spurs under the lights at Old Trafford. Honest to God, I would be surprised if the players aren't up for the game and they don't actually put in a performance. However, saying that, if we give Spurs time on the ball like we have done against Brighton and Leicester, it's going to be a very, very long night because they have got fantastic players in their team, make no mistake about it. Eriksen for me is the main man. If you stop Eriksen, you stop quite a lot of their attacks in general because he is the talisman. So I think he's going to be really important. Harry Kane has never actually scored at Old Trafford. However, rules are there to records are there to be made broken. Records are there to be broken. There we go. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah, so Harry Kane obviously is a threat, but for me personally, we need to keep Eriksen quiet because that guy is the main man. He's just an overall threat. Anyways, in general, I am going to say Manchester United 2, Spurs 1. I can't really call it, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just banking on the players to show a bit of fight and just some professional pride on the back of what was an absolute abysmal performance. I just hope the players play for the flipping club, the badge, the fans, and of course Jose Mourinho. Yes, Jose Mourinho is to blame with some of the things, especially the tactics. For me personally, he needs to change the stuff that I've said. I don't want to see him just trying to bypass the press and just pinging along every 2 seconds with Lukaku. I've got a feeling he's going to be isolated, but fingers crossed he does something similar to what I've done, and I think we will get a result. Leave your comments in the comment section, your predictions, that kind of thing. Apart from that, drop a like and feel free to subscribe if you're new. It has been your boy Usman, and hopefully Manchester United won't break my heart one more time. Anyways, come on United! Come on!